What's up, Jones Bones? It is your girl, Unitedly Random, and today we are getting into our first collective reading for November, and it is What Should You? What should we? What should the collective be thankful for? And this is going to be talking about November 2021 blessings. Now, this is kind of like a throwback because I actually did this reading last year. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out that reading to see if it might, touch on something, that was a pick a card reading, but this is a collective reading. So right after the intro, you're gonna see me shuffle the cards, and if you want to skip me shuffling the cards out, I'm gonna go ahead and put a link down below when I'm finished shuffling the cards. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about why we are in this intro, okay, so the card on the bottom says deeper, okay? And I thought that this was very important. This is the reading for you if you want to get deeper. If you're believing that you have a lot to do, it says you are not finished, you are not yet done. Dig deeper and deeper. The best is to come. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So I think that this is very fitting because we're talking about November blessings. There's something that is coming your way. And this is the back of the card as well. Now, this isn't necessarily the card that's going to pop up in our reading, but this was the first card on the deck, and I thought that it was important for all of us to hear that message, okay? Now, another thing I want to do before we get into the reading is let you guys know that all of the cards that you see down here, they're available for purchase. Okay, this card right here is from V Love and Crystals. These are the Autumn Delights deck. She gave me these cards as a gift, and she gave me this card as a gift. So maybe if she pops inside of the comments, she can let us know what cards, the name of these cards are, because I don't necessarily know the name of these cards. But the tarot deck in the red backs that I got, they were about 20 bucks on Amazon. Now, if you want to go ahead, you're ready to get into tarot, go ahead and check it out. I have it linked in my Amazon storefront, okay? And that is in my link tree, the very first link. You can get these cards there, and if you buy it from that website, Amazon, I might get a little something, okay? So, help your girl out for New Year's. The Witch's World Oracle deck is also in my Amazon storefront, and the Secondly Oracle deck, I didn't necessarily buy this, but I do stand by them. I love them for shadow work. This is also in my storefront, okay? V Love and Crystals. Honestly, most of my decks that I have, V Love and Crystals, have given them to me. If you guys don't know who V Love and Crystals is, where have you been? She is a fastly growing tarot enthusiast. Okay, she creates oracle cards like, oh my goodness, she has so many beautiful decks. You guys definitely should check her out. I'll go ahead and put a link to her email to ask her about it, because these cards are gorgeous. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and pop a picture of the cards that she has worked on so far. Yes, okay, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. We don't really have a thing to work off of. It's just what should you or the collective be thankful for. So let's go ahead and start shuffling.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Okay. What should the collective be thankful for? What should the collective be thankful for November? What should the collective be thankful for November? What should the collective be? Ooh, that's a lot. But you know what? Since it is a collective reading, I'm going to put both of them down. Okay, and then that. What should the collective be thankful for? Boom. Okay, and then we're going in like a clockwise position. What should the collective be thankful for? Witch's World. What should the collective be thankful for? What should the collective be thankful for? Boom, came out really fast. I'm trying to put my cards back up after I get done shuffling them, because after I get done doing readings, I'm usually a little drained, and so I don't usually put them up immediately. I know I should, but like I don't. And what should we be thankful for? Ooh, those are a lot of cards. I'm gonna turn them around and we're gonna keep them. 3 cards, and we're gonna be clarifying it with the Autumn's Delight. But I wanna clarify it with the Autumn's Delight after I turn it around and, you know, start to get a feeling about the cards, you know? So it's really touching on that. And again, these are the cards that V Love and Crystals has gifted me. If you guys know what cards these are, let me know down below. But what should the collective be thankful for? What should the collective be thankful for? Boom. Boom. Okay, and put these to the side. And then the Secondly Oracle deck. I love these cards. I truly do love this deck. They definitely feel like my shadow healing, working on yourself deck. I mean, if you guys want to do some shadow work, this deck is it, because I think it's so much a deck that I love working with when I'm working with my shadow self, is because it kind of depicts children in a way. And because I was a child that had a lot of childhood trauma, I see these kind of, they're not human, but I see these children-like persons and children-like people going through certain things, and it reminds me that, you know, in reality, kids also go through these things. And we might not want to have that conversation, but I went through a lot as a child that I shouldn't have went through. And so it's just very real to me, like, if that makes any sense. So what should we, the collective, be thankful for? What should we, the collective, be thankful for? What should we, the collective, be thankful for? Come on out. I think you want me to flip it. Okay, I'll take it if it comes out either way. I'll read it exactly the way it comes out if that is what you so want it to be. I was going to read everything upright, but I felt the urge to flip this deck. So let me go ahead and be quiet. What should us, the collective, be thankful for? Ooh, someone flipped around. Okay, and boom. Let me go ahead and put you up. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Although I wasn't supposed to be showing you guys just yet. But it doesn't really matter because I read it all together too. So we'll just go ahead and look at all of these cards for a moment. This came out in reverse, but I don't use this in reverse, so I'm gonna turn it upright. And the Broom, Premonition, and the Silent Awakening. Okay, that came out in reverse, but I'll take it as it is in reverse. It feels right that it came in reverse because it's not so silent now anymore, is it? And then we have these cards. Now, however these cards come out, I'm gonna take it. We got the Wheel of Fortune. That is a good sign. We have the Page of Wands. That is also a good sign. And then we have, come on. Y'all, I don't have the long nails, but they're still, you know, getting to me, okay? And these are the cards that we have so far. Okay? And let's go ahead and get into this reading. So, what should the collective be thankful for? The first 2 cards that came out were these doorways. And I'm going to show them both to you, and I'm going to read them as well. Okay, now doorway number 1, it says nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside, so take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. Nomad. And then we also have this card right next to it, which is, let me turn it around. The Sacred Lotus. Compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. Okay. So off the top of my head, we're talking about nomadic movement, not necessarily having a home. What should we be thankful for? I think it's bringing up that it's November, right? And what is November? But when we were younger, we were taught that November was the time for family. I think at this point, you probably don't have that close of a connection to your family, and you feel like, oh, well, I don't really have a place to call home. Be thankful for that. It sounds bad, but be thankful for that, because you cut the toxic people out of your life is what I'm picking up on. You realize that the people, your family, weren't healthy for you, and you had to cut them out of your life. But this is possibly the first November that you've had, pretty much a November where you didn't necessarily have a place to call home. This is the first November that you really felt like, I have no family. You have a family here on the Unitedly Random channel. You know, you're a part of the Jones Bones, and I know that it might feel hard with the holidays coming up and you don't necessarily have people that you feel like they should be there. You feel like your parents should be there for you. You feel like your uncles, your brothers, the people who used to say that they love you so much kind of disappeared in your life, and you feel like they should be there. That's something to be thankful for, because the thing is, when you become like the black sheep in your family, it's not necessarily because you are the bad one, it's because your family cannot handle going to that next level with you. We are all growing. You might have a family member or people in your family that think that you believing in these tarot cards is phony, it's you're crazy and this and this and that, and you had to step away from that family to really heal yourself, to really step into who you are, to really step into listening to the knowledge that is within yourself. And at the end of the day, you might not can take everyone with you on your journey, but do know that you are supported by the universe, okay? So that is one of the blessings that we have. And also the blessing comes back with the sacred lotus, the compassion and the action, the chosen tool. The thankfulness that you should be having. I'm stumbling over my words, but what we're saying right there is that you should be thankful that you actually have it in your heart, that the people that hurt you, you still care about them, because it's something about that reminds us that we, in some ways, have forgiven. In some ways, we have grown. And there's something beautiful about still holding compassion for the people that hurt you, not holding the door wide open so that they can come back in and hurt you again, but still having that compassion, that compassionate soul. It's just kind of a reminder that you are an earth angel. You are one of the people that is going to help heal the world, because you're not just stuck by the pains. You're not just stuck by the emotions. You're not just stuck in this bog, this eternal area of pain. You are someone who is balancing the pain, but also balancing the lessons that come with it. Then we have your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. Now, I was picking up on this, I believe last Friday, when I kept saying that you have the power and you can do it and this and this and that. Your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. I think that you should be very thankful just how powerful you are. You are a great manifester, and you just have to step into that world of allowing your manifestations to come alive. And then we have the broom for cleansing. This takes me back to the nomad. This takes me back to, you know, not necessarily being able to, at the very least, see your family, or not being connected to your family. With the broom, I'm feeling like you're cleansing out the negative energy to make room for more positivity inside of your life. So while you might think, oh, well, I feel lonely, I can't hang out with my family, I'm not being able to do the things that, like, I was taught this is what Thanksgiving is about. I was taught this is how you spend your life. I was taught that family is key, but my family was more so the lock and keeping me from becoming the person that I want to be. Well, we're cleansing out that energy, and we're getting ready for not necessarily the new year, because any day you can choose to change. You don't have to wait till new year. A lot of people do choose the new year, but like any day you can choose to change. But this action, this cleansing of your soul, cleansing out the people who aren't right by you, cleansing out the people who won't change, okay? And change, you know, everyone's going to change, but people who won't change right now, when you are trying to change, they're holding you back from your change. They're holding you back from you unlocking the future that you want, right? So this is a very, very good thing to be thankful about. And we're going to go ahead and step into the tarot cards. Now, last year when I did this, I didn't have a lot of practice with the tarot cards, and so that's why most of my readings were oracle cards. But we're gonna get into the Knight of Swords. We're going after something. We're fighting for what we believe in. This is giving me kind of with the Knight, teenager energy, youthful energy. It's giving me pretty much in your 20s. You feel me? And we're in our 20s, we're in our early 30s, and we're trying to figure out what type of world we want. And we're going ahead, and you see that horse? Let me put this up for you. You see this horse? There's people who will say, oh yeah, you can do it, who also side glance you. There's people around that are like, oh yeah, follow your dreams, but they also don't necessarily believe that you can achieve your dreams. But that is not going to stop you at all. So be thankful for, you know, it kind of sucks though when you're around people that don't necessarily believe that you can do it, but they're not necessarily speaking out like, oh yeah, you won't do it, but you know that they don't believe in the things that you believe in. They kind of just like, oh, okay. Be thankful that those people actually care enough to just be like, okay, well, you do what you're gonna do. You're gonna meet people who have the same beliefs as you. You're gonna meet people that feel the same way about things that you feel. It's just, you haven't tapped into them yet. And the people that are around you that aren't necessarily like, yeah, do it, or they don't believe the things that you believe, I think that it's still, you know, people don't necessarily have to believe the things that you believe, but as long as they are still supportive, you know, they still want you to be happy. That is something to be thankful about. Like my husband, he's not into the tarot cards like I am, okay? He is not. He kind of looks at me and he's like, okay, well, you do what you want to do. But he's also not down talking me when I'm doing my tarot cards. He's not pushing down my beliefs and my hopes when I'm doing my things, right? He's just like, okay, well, I'm going to vibe with you. I don't necessarily believe the same thing you believe, but I believe in you. And that's all I really need to do. And that's the thing. You got to remind yourself, the people in your life that are still in your life, they don't have to want to meditate with you. Everybody's not going to be at the same level as you. Everybody's not going to have the same journey as you are having. You know, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, we're different, but certain people have certain journeys that they have to do, okay? And to ask a teacher to play football is not necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily gonna work. You feel me? If that makes any sense. And then we got the Page of Wands. I'm feeling that you have a lot of determination. You have a lot of actions that you are about to get done. You have a lot of plans. Something's happening that is firing up the fire inside of your belly with the Page of Wands. This is giving me childlike innocence. It's giving me the beginning, especially with the One of Wands there. It's giving me the planning, and it's saying, hey, I'm gonna take this stick and I'm gonna make it into a house. This is what I'm picking up. And with the Wheel of Fortune card in the upright position, it reminds me that everything that is happening for a reason. Everything that is happening in your life is going to motivate you and push you. Even if it doesn't feel like it is good, the Wheel of Fortune is on your side. What is good, like what is bad comes around, and what is good comes around. But like with the Wheel of Fortune upright, I feel a lot of positivity coming into your life. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clarify each of these cards with the Autumn's Delight deck from V Love and Crystals. Okay, excuse you. Damn, they wanted to come out. They all wanted to come out. Give me a moment. Clarify. Matter of fact, just give me one card, okay? Just give me one card for all three of these cards. Clarify all three of these cards. Give me one card. And we have the anticipation, which I was going to immediately put over the page of wands. But anticipation, let me pick it up and let you guys see the anticipation. You guys don't necessarily know what's coming, but you know what change is coming, and you can feel it, and that's something to be thankful for. A lot of people are feeling a difference. It's something about the world right now. A lot of people are feeling the change coming, but some people don't feel it, and it's not our job to make them feel it. We just live our life. We live divinely within our own rights, and they're going to learn. You know, you can only deny, you can only run for so long. And that's one of the blessings within us, is that we're not running. We're ready to confront what the future has for us. And then we have silent awakening. And you guys know I was picking back up on that. Silent awakening. And here's the picture, and I can turn it around, but it was in reverse. Silent awakening. And so it's kind of like, when it was in upright, I would have read this as, you know, the cat being awake, and then all of these bats aren't awake. But in actuality, now that it was in reverse, silent awakening is not that silent. I feel like the mass, people are starting to awake, and it's not silent anymore. The internet is definitely pushing the knowledge out there in a way that it cannot be contained the way that other people might want to contain that knowledge. And so only a few people are actually not aware. A few people are actually looking and not even opening themselves up to the future, to what they can, you know, unlock. Okay, and there's some people that are actually, because these yellow lights over here is a house, but they kind of look like eyes. Some people are actually deliberately hiding, okay, and they're trying to control this cat without even, they're trying. It's a control tactic. Okay, people are watching, and they have the knowledge, they are aware, but they're going to hide this. They're hoping to keep the cat looking in another direction and look behind them. The knowledge that is already out there, and the masses are talking about it. You know, it's kind of like these cats have to determine if they're going to be an inside cat or an outside cat. Let me go ahead and turn it around. Silent awakening. First light as dawn breaks, bats scatter in the distant sky. Silence. Not a time to express or communicate. And so the magic message with this is sit with the stillness of not speaking about your issues. Surrender to the restless soul and rise to your power. Okay, but it was in reverse. So what does that mean? Ask me, Alia, what does that mean? Well, it's giving me the feeling that this is not the time to be quiet. This is not the time to sit in stillness, actually. This is the time to speak about your story. Speak about your truth, okay? Because the people that aren't yet hearing the message, they can stumble upon your truth, and they can find their own way to the answers. You don't have to go after someone and be like, you have to believe what I believe, you have to do what I'm doing, and this and this and that. No, everyone's finding their own way. Everyone has a different path. Then we have premonition. Your psychic senses are guiding you. The bat and the crow are symbols of message and wisdom. Yes, the answer is right now. Trusting the magic message, okay? Trusting your psychic guidance brings more awareness and signs of what's coming next. You should be thankful because you have untapped something that some people have yet to untap. Some people are afraid to untap. You are already in a position of furtherment than other people. You are already on your path of fulfillment in a way that some people haven't even started their path. And it doesn't mean that you're better than them. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that you've already started. It's giving me the feels that some of you guys had a really hard childhood. Some of you guys had a hard time growing up, especially when I talked into the nomad and, you know, feeling like you don't necessarily have a home. Because of that, because we started life a little bit bit harder, we are already grown to a certain point that some people, you know, if you don't experience an experience, you don't necessarily learn the same way that the person who experienced the experience has learned, you know? So it's just giving me that, yes, the answer is right now. Wisdom, messages and wisdom. What did I just say? It's time to share your story. I don't know if you were debating, I don't know, thinking about writing a book, you were thinking about possibly starting a YouTube channel in which you share your story. I think that yes is the answer. Start it now if you haven't already started it, because your story can help heal so many people in a way that you won't ever really recognize. You won't ever necessarily see it, but it's still doing its job, okay? And then for the last card, what should you be thankful for? And it takes me back to the beginning. It's the 22nd card of the Oracle deck. I know if y'all have been around for a while on my channel, y'all know I always say Oracle deck. It just makes me happy. But the 22nd card, which makes me wonder, let me look around. I don't have a lot of number cards, but the 4 is something that's coming out. 4 usually represents stability. 4 usually represents, yeah, you know, you got 4 wheels on a car to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Or 22, you might be 22, you might be turning 22, sometimes very young. But definitely it's kind of giving me the image of this little girl in upright. I usually read it as, you know, you're giving your red balloons away. You're in a position where it reminds me of that one card where the man is holding on to the scale and he's also dropping money into other people's hands. And that card always gives me bad vibes. Like, it's like someone who's just like, oh yeah, here you go, money. But it's like, why not hand it to them? Like, I keep saying that. Other people will be like, yeah, it's such a good card, but it just always gives me bad vibes no matter how many times I read it. But with this card in reverse, it's kind of like taking back your gifts, you're cutting some cords between people who were just going to take away, and take away, and they never refill your cup. I did a reading about this a little while ago where I was talking about how you always fill other people's cup, and I feel like the audience, y'all have not changed. You're always giving people more than maybe you don't even think about how much you have in your cup to begin with, but you're always giving more than you actually necessarily should be giving or actually want to be giving at times. You're like, well, I gotta do this because I don't want to look bad, or I gotta do this because I know that if I needed help, I would want someone to help me. Okay, but also if you needed help, would the person that you are helping help you? You gotta ask yourself these questions. And at this point, we are saying we are thankful. We are so thankful that we have tapped into the knowledge that other people don't seem to be able to tap into just yet. We are so thankful that the universe is divinely guiding us, and it's telling us that we are going to make it. And we are so thankful that while some people are starting their journey a little bit late, considering we've been doing it for a while now, we are so thankful that we had already had our hearts open to starting our journey when we started our journey. Because here's the thing, due to the world, it's just going to get harder and harder and harder, right? And so now people are jumping into the game of life, the game of spirituality a little bit later. And they've lived their years not necessarily opening themselves up to these things. And so now they're getting their butt kicked, okay? And so the good thing about that is we're not necessarily getting our butt kicked. We're ready for it, and we can guide the people who come after us so that they can have a more easier chance at it. Because no matter what, even though spirituality is more accessible now, tarot cards is more accessible, and it's just growing and growing and growing, I think that it's also hard to get into your right path because there's so many different types of ways of doing it. There's so many different types of ways of divination. And so now someone coming into the room is looking around and they're like, wow, it's like hundreds and hundreds of things of how I can get to this point and which one is right. See, I don't necessarily think that there's a right and a wrong way to do it, but I do know that there are some people who don't necessarily have your right path in mind. There are some people that don't really take tarot cards or anything as seriously as they do. And now because it's such a public station to be, now you don't necessarily know who's good and who's not good. Okay, and you have to ask yourself, who's actually out here who actually cares about the collective? And I would like to say that my girls on YouTube, I feel definitely that they definitely care about the collective, but it's just also, I've met people in real life and I've met people who don't necessarily care, and they're also very biased. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, who are you trusting to give you the message? Okay, and even me, you don't necessarily have to trust me to give you the message. You listen to the message and you take what you can from it. You take what you feel like you need to take from it, right? So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up. We are done with the reading. I hope that this has brought some type of positive vibes into your life, and it reminded you that you have a lot of power that you possibly don't even recognize or you're already tapping into. So that just means that you're already on your wheel, and the fortune is going to come with time, okay? In belief that you have to truly believe that you are where you need to be when you need to be it, okay? So much love and positive vibes, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Let me know if you guys have a reading idea down below, and I will enjoy getting into it. But see you guys later. Bye.